Super Training family, how's it going? Out here with my friend, the Barefoot Sprinter, aka Graham Tuttle.
There you go, with an H-A-M.
With an H-A-M, not Grant, like Mark keeps calling him. But we came out here with Graham today to start doing some sprints, and I got super excited because I'm like, I've been doing Nordics, I've been training, I'm ready to do this. And on my third sprint, I go ahead and I pull my little hammy, or I have a hammy strain.
Yeah, and I think we'll put a clip in to show. Not super significant because he's a strong guy.
I wanted to go fast.
He was going fast, just not as fast as me. Well, you.
I'm fucking with you. All right, but yeah, keep it going.
I would never say that he could beat me up and I'm run away, so I have to keep my distance real quick.
Yeah, you better.
One of the things people look at when they talk about hamstring pulls is they think, I do Nordics, am I good to go? So Nordics are great. If you think about what they're doing, you're controlling the position down. One of the things with Nordics is they lower down and people can get the eccentric strength and it's good. But there's two mistakes people will make. One of which is they don't get their toes engaged. Your toes are how your glutes engage. So if I grab the ground with my toes, it's how my glutes turn on. And when I do the Nordics, if I'm not careful to keep my feet pointed straight down, I can flare them out. And that means I'm missing the medial portion of my hamstrings.
And I think I've made that mistake before. Yeah. I think I'm definitely make that mistake when I do Nordics.
And so just watching him move when he would do a single leg RDL, his go-to is to lift his toe up. So this is one of those things that even though he does jiu-jitsu, he's barefoot, he's doing a lot of stuff, we have to train ourselves to use our feet well, just like we have to train ourselves to breathe. It took you a while to learn how to nasal breathe and do that in stressful situations, right? Yeah. So learning to reuse your feet is a powerful thing. So those things can carry in, and you might not be as protected as you think you are with sprinting. And so remember, sprinting is about as difficult of a movement as it gets when you look at athleticism. So when you're doing this, the first and foremost thing is stay in a safe range of motion. So he was still going, he had a very mild pull, and some of the stuff he's had a previous injury. So if you have a previous strain or previous tear that can have some scar tissue, ease into that. So always do what are called build-up sprints. So you ease into it, you build up to a top speed, in about 10, 20, 30 meters, you go at 60, 70, 80, 90%.
And that's where I pulled it. I pulled it in a build-up sprint.
So that's one of the things. The best you could do to prevent injury is stay in that area until you feel really confident in it. And even then, it might not be something you can completely do if you're not really doing the strength ahead of time. So the other side of that, you can do some backward sprints and just stay in this. You're doing a backwards build-up sprint and being explosive as possible. Those are both safe things to do. That being said, when you get ready to go and do sprinting, there's a few things you can do to warm up to really engage us. Now, these are things you can do to prepare and get your body ready, but they cannot compensate, they cannot make up for the fact that if you're not doing your Nordics and RDLs well, meaning your feet are straight or slightly internally rotated and you're engaging the ground with that foot. So doing an RDL like this is not going to be the same as doing it with this foot engaged or slightly turned.
Gripping the ground, big toe activated.
Yeah. When you do your RDLs, if I can turn my toes in slightly and keep this back arched and really go and engage, I'm getting the medial head and I get the lateral head, I'm engaging it all. So think about that from a preparation to strength training. That being said, let's talk about three things you can do to get your body and your hips, hip flexors, and hamstrings prepared before you jump into that. First, we always want to think about getting some blood flow to this hamstring. And so what we do are split stance RDL. So you're going to balance, put 90% of your weight on this left foot, and then balance ever so slightly with the other one, just to take the balance component out. And so you'll see.
By the way, guys, this is the side that was pulled, so this is going to feel very strong.
Yeah, but also you can look at the veiny legs. So first thing is notice the toe. When he was first doing it, he wasn't grabbing the ground with that toe. So first thing is grab the ground with that toe and feel that glute turn on.
Yep.
Then you're going to stay in this position, hinge his hips, so push your hips back, and then arch slow and controlled.
And also you want to make sure that your back isn't bent while you're doing this. Yes. Arch up. Keep your
body up. You have a fascia line that runs at the back of your leg all the way up to here. So if you're rounding your back, you're not getting a pull on that. You're not lengthening that line.
And I feel this right in the place where it was pulled.
And so you're sitting here, we're doing 25 to 50 reps and just pulsing back and forth. You can get a little bit lower. Make sure you're pushing that hip back, really hinging at the hip, and you're getting blood flow. Make sure that toe stays engaged.
Yep.
As he's grabbing the ground, feel the glute engage. Lots of reps, lots of blood flow to get this prepped. And so you can take this and do a single leg RDL variation if you want to build up. Okay. I like the split stance, it just takes the balance out. You can just really hammer in that spot. Next, we're going to do some hip flexors. Have a sit on the ground. This is your knee hug hip flexor lift. So there are variations. This is like level 1 of 20 for hip flexors, and you really can't have too strong of a hip flexor. But one thing I like is you put this knee, bend this knee, put this foot flat on the ground, and the further forward, so people like to hug this knee really in close, but if they don't have the strength, that can get them to lean further back. And
so this is easier to do. This would be harder
the further forward you lean. So really arch the back, sit up tall, and then you're going to, and you're pulling that fascia line. Now he's lifting up. There's 3 muscles here. Your psoas major, your iliacus, and your rectus femoris. So these are the 3 hip flexion muscles. And you're lifting up, you lift up and you hold and you go back down. You should feel this potentially even cramping in here.
Yeah.
And be really, really strict about this. Lean as far forward as you can. Flex this quad and get as much engagement at that muscle. That's going to make the biggest difference. And if your hip flexors aren't turned on, you end up overloading the hamstring. So this is huge to work on that. You can do sets of 25 to 50 on each side. You really can't do too much. This is an activation exercise. If you're doing this in the gym, L-sit holds, hanging leg raises, monkey foot knee drives, those can all help, but that's not going to, so no, yeah, there you go. Those are all strength training. This is just an activation. And then finally, we want to make sure those glutes are engaged, and there's a few things we can do here. So, lay on your back.
Lay on my back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got our hip bridge marches. So bring your feet in, raise your hips up.
Feet in, raise my hips up.
And now you can just take turns lifting right leg off and left leg off, back and forth.
Do you want
Just
to be on certain toes or just full?
Feet flat first.
Feet flat first.
So we start off here. Notice this is engaging as he lifts. We don't want the hips to shift left or right. We want them to stay pretty much engaged, and you're really fighting to get that toe into the ground. Grab each time. This is your first. Then you're going to shift up on the balls of your feet, specifically on the outside, your 4th and 5th metatarsals, so the outside, the pinky toes. Lift the big toes off the ground.
Good.
Now, don't let the knees flare out too much.
Good.
You get now march left and right, left and right. You're just on that 4th and 5th. Keep that big toe off the ground. And with this, you're getting strength into the lateral calf muscles and this lower leg, and developing the posterior tibialis right on the inside here. So you can do 5 to 10 each side there, then switch over to your big toe. So you're up on the first and your pinky toe is lifted off the ground, and you're pressing to the big toe and that first metatarsal so that you can put on the ball of that foot, so not just the big toe. Yeah, so get all the way down.
Ball
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah, so all through there, that's what we want. And down, and then we press up. That's going to develop strength into both sides of the feet. And then finally you can do some pulses. So you lift up and you just pulse. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to build, and same with the outside of the foot too. And you can do pulses. So 5 to 10 hip bridge marches, 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 marches on each side, the 4th and 5th metatarsal and the 1st metatarsal, and then pulses 20 on each side. Those are going to engage the glute and the lower leg. So doing those 3 before you get into sprinting, going to activate the feet, ankles, the hip flexors, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Get a lot of blood flow, and that's going to do your best bet at preventing any type of hamstring injury. Remember, when in doubt, play it safe and build up, because the goal is to come back and train again. If you're going to do this for a max effort competition, you should have the confidence in your body to be able to do that and not get injured.
I want to add in, guys, today I was very excited. You know, if it's been a long time since you've gone and sprinted, and you go out on the field and you're warming up and you're striding out, you're gonna get really, really excited. Even when I was trying to hold back and keep myself around 80%, this happened. So be conservative. It's your first time doing this after a very long time, okay? And you have a lot of sessions to sprint, so don't blow your load on your first session, okay?
Yeah, especially if you have previous injury, which he's had some in the past. So remember, this is fun. The goal is to come back and train again, but
we'll be back. And you know what? Fuck you, because I love you. But the next time you come out, because you will be coming out, I'm gonna kick your ass in a 100. I'm going to destroy you in a 100.
This is the guy who just got destroyed, so.
I got destroyed, but we'll be back. Guys, Graham, where can people find you?
The Barefoot Sprinter on Instagram and TikTok, and then YouTube is Graham Tuttle. I'll figure out, I'll change the name at some point, we'll see.
His content's fucking amazing. Like the stuff on feet, the stuff that he's taught us on the podcast and all these videos that are gonna be coming your way, it's gonna change your life. Even if you don't sprint and you're just a lifter, the stuff that he's going to be showing you guys in terms of activating the feet, this man has some of the strongest feet I've ever seen. And the crazy foot control he has, this is one of the big missing links for athletes. And I'm so happy that we were able to get him here to make some content. So please go check out his content. Go buy his what is it?
My foot and ankle one specifically is ready to run. 28 days to rebuild your feet, ankles, lower legs, for to prepare you for pain-free running. And then I got a program that teaches you how to running.
What is running?
I didn't say speaking. I said pain-free running.
But yeah, guys, check him out. He's amazing. The Barefoot Sprinter. Anyway, that's it. This is Nsima Inyang from the Super Training Gym. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch y'all later.